Should I stay or should I go? Hit locals or Bellagio? Take a plane or hit the road? Should I stay or should I go?
Is the Ace of Vegas, the Ace of Vegas.
Hello there, my spinners and sharks. Ace of Vegas here, and I hope you're doing well. So, across the nation today, and even around the world, casinos are reopening. Macau is back into the swing of things, First Nations casinos have opened their doors, and even a few regional casinos are back in action now. And now, the Las Vegas Strip is looking to be a part of that action. The comps are looking really good, and so are the hotels as they prepare for their reopening. But should you be going to your Vegas casino first, or is it worth hitting up your local gambling joint? Well, spinners and sharks, I have decided to go ahead and analyze this on a multi-point scale, all using adjectives that start with the letter A to determine which experience is going to be best for you. But before we do that, spinners and sharks, let's go ahead and take a look at something really cool. So my friends Hug and 2 Cent over at, Hug and 2 Cent, I'll go ahead and put a link to them in the description box down below. They actually have a Redbubble store, so that sells special merchandise like t-shirts and mugs and all the good stuff like buttons. And recently, they've taken to selling masks. So I decided to go ahead and order one. And it finally came in from the Redbubble store. And I'm going to go ahead and check that out before we go ahead and get started. So a lot of casinos are considering mask wearing, or they're encouraging mask wearing. So we're going to go ahead and check out this mask that Hog and 2 Cent set for us over here. So just as a warning, they're not explicitly designed to mitigate or cure. It's not FDA approved. That's all it is. It's not FDA or CDC approved. But it is a face covering, which CDC is saying is helping with preventing droplets from coming across too. And we have this lovely little mask over here. Feels like it's single layer and all that. I got an official Hog and 2 Cent mask here. So let's go ahead and see how this bad boy fits. So it fits pretty well, and it's actually pretty breathable, all things considered. Material's a little stretchy too, and the loops go on pretty comfortably on either side of the mask here. So there's that. You have your official Hog and 2 Cent YouTube mask over here. They also have it in their other signature designs like the hand pray and say no to 6'5" blackjack, all their good stuff. I think there's a hashtag balls with words, and if there isn't, there shouldn't be. Hog, go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below if you got that though. But yeah, guys, go ahead and check them out. Hog and 2 Cent in the description box down below. Check out the Redbubble store, and then while you're over there, watch a video while you're waiting for their merch to come your way. Alright, but enough about the masks. Let's get on to whether you're going to locals with the mask or if you're going to Vegas with the mask. Let's get started. Arriving at a locals casino is generally pretty easy. You usually only have about 2 options. You're either going to drive there in your car, which is going to be a pretty quick drive just down the local highway, or alternatively, you can take a bus. A lot of companies will hire bus companies like Ace Express or Greyhound to ferry their gamblers up to their properties so that they don't have to worry about drinking and driving, and also makes it a little more consistent for them to be able to get up there quickly. Occasionally, you will be able to take a train in some places, but that typically takes longer, so the best bet to get your locals casino is a quick trip in your car. Now, Vegas casinos are a little tougher to get to, since these casinos cater to all sorts of travelers from all over the world. It generally relies on air travel. So if you have bad weather or a bad flight plan, it can either be expensive to get there or it can be difficult to get there because of delays. If you are lucky enough to live close enough to Vegas to drive, you're going to be driving through the Mojave Desert. At minimum, if you're coming from LA, you're looking at an approximate 3 to 4 hour drive to get to the city of Neon. And Mojave Desert, depending on what time of year it is, spoiler alert, most times of year, it's going to be pretty hot. So be prepared with that. You're either going to need some great AC or a lot of water to go ahead and get through. Traveling by train is not an option yet, even though there is a bullet train coming from LA that's in progress right now, but that likely won't be completed for a number of years. And a flight is generally pretty quick too, but then the real question is, are you really gonna go ahead and take a plane to a place that's only about 45 minutes away by plane? Who knows? Point goes to the locals casinos in this first round over here, because frankly, they're easier to get to and they're a lot more consistent if you're trying to get there. Locals casino room accommodations are a little bit smaller. They usually don't have quite as many rooms in the hotels because they're catering to locals, i.e. people that live there anyway. So unless people are looking to go away for about a weekend, you're probably not going to be staying up there after your casino experience is over. Especially considering the fact that, well, it's a 30 to 45 minute drive from home. What do I really need a room for anyway? Unless you've been drinking to excess, you're probably not going to be using a room. And alternately, if you have been, the rooms are a little more Spartan, especially in the smaller or independent casinos. If you don't particularly mind, then hey, the rooms might not be a bad idea, but they're not going to be particularly pretty or particularly comfortable. They're just going to be there. Vegas casinos are huge, and they usually boast thousands of rooms per property. There's an approximate 150,000 hotel rooms in Las Vegas alone, meaning that if you're looking for a room, you're going to have a really easy time. And most of them are actually typically occupied since it's a tourist-based state. And who can blame them? Even the basic rooms are actually on par with some high-level rooms at your basic locals casinos. And if you get into some of the more interesting or complex rooms, even the low-level rooms there are going to have some special amenities. Large rooms, soaking tubs, standing steam showers, Alexa units, stereo systems, the works, including mini fridges too. Some of the higher-end hotels have everything running via remote control, like Aria Hotel and Casino, via their room service tablet. Rooms meet different social sensibilities, and honestly, they're usually at least lightly themed or typically a lot more modern than your average locals casino is, making them considerably more aesthetically pleasing. Vegas strikes back in the second round. Point goes to Vegas. It doesn't matter how much time you spend there, the rooms are nicer and there are a lot more of them to choose from. Let's start this off real quickly. Your locals casino is a lot less likely to have a spa or a pool, or even different types of rooms of any kind. Blackhawk, for example, does not have a pool up that direction, largely because it's in the mountains and it gets pretty cold pretty frequently. Restaurants are also going to be limited. Obviously, there will be the obligatory steakhouse and more times than not a buffet. But aside from that, and maybe a cafe with some limited breakfast and lunch options, don't expect too many different things from your locals casino. Other activities are going to be few and far between. I wouldn't expect any arcades, I wouldn't expect any roller coasters, or anything else special from your locals casino unless you happen to be a Vegas local. At a minimum, your Vegas-style hotels are going to have several different restaurants featuring several different types of cuisines. They're definitely going to have a high-quality steakhouse that may or may not be affordable depending on the tier of hotel that you have, but it's certainly going to be there, and usually one or two other fancy, quote-unquote, restaurants for you to enjoy. Pretty much all of them have pools, and be ready for them to be open year-round, especially because of the great weather there. It's typically warm in Vegas, and definitely works out to be a lot of pool time. And that's in addition to the spas that offer different services such as massages, salon services, paraffin waxes, so on and so forth. And that's not including the other attractions or amenities that we haven't mentioned because they're so specific to the hotel and based partially around their theming. Point goes to Vegas here. There's a pretty strong set standard among Vegas hotels and usually a great gimmick to go with it too. That makes a Vegas hotel amenity a lot stronger than your average locals casino hotel amenities. Now, if you like a rustic, simple atmosphere that's catered to a local lifestyle, then definitely go ahead and go with your locals casino. They're usually smaller, a lot more low-key, and better for relaxing. They're usually considerably more focused too, so you're going to find a lot more gambling and a lot fewer gimmicks, keeping tourists away, and keeping it largely a locals-only spot. Vegas, on the other hand, is extravagant, overly complex, and definitely catered to a jet-setter lifestyle. While it definitely does flex to be relaxing and low-key for certain individuals, definitely expect a higher energy experience there. It's definitely larger and expected to be a bit more obnoxious, ideal for the party lifestyle. We're gonna call this one a draw over here. Frankly, both your locals and Las Vegas have their own charm depending on what you want to do, and this is strictly up to preference. Locals casino attractions are, well, to be perfectly frank, pretty minimal. You might get a concert, you might get a stage show, you might get a local comedian or maybe even a famous Hollywood one every once in a while, but that's about it. Most locals casinos are centered around gaming, and for spa-based casinos, you might get a little relaxation going on over there too. Occasionally sporting event, but don't expect anything other than that. Las Vegas has an insane amount of options for attractions. Volcanoes, fountains, roller coasters, and that's just the stuff you can see on the sidewalk. Most hotels have some sort of gimmick to keep people coming in. Whether they're flamingos, tigers, dolphins, or sharks, they're definitely going to be coming through, and the hotels are close enough for you to enjoy them all. A lot of these attractions are also free to keep the non-gaming casual fans of Las Vegas excited, while their friends or spouses that are a little more into the gaming get to enjoy their half of the Vegas experience as well. Point goes to Vegas there's just a hell of a lot more to do. Advantage play definitely favors a local. Typically, limits are considerably lower at your local's casino, except at the very high-end properties. Blackjack usually pays out 3-2, and you have much better pay tables at video poker, and often a lower bet minimum at slot machines. For example, I went to a Mykonami slot bank over at my local casino at Isle Hotel Casino in Blackhawk, and I discovered that Dragon's Law had a minimum bet of 30 cents. This opposed to the Las Vegas bet, which had a minimum of 45 cents even at the New York, which I would say is a pretty comparable hotel casino proportionately, definitely blew that out of the water. Odds are a lot better for your locals casino. Your Vegas casino is not so friendly. The strip is riddled with 6-5 blackjack, and downtown isn't doing much better either, with 6-5 blackjack infiltrating some of the tables down that way. The machines are rarely reported to have a payback percentage over 90%, and they're not quite as low roller friendly if we're being honest. Even the penny machines usually have a minimum bet somewhere around 50 to 75 cents, depending on how many lines you want to run. So if we're looking for a victor there, advantage players, go to your locals. It's definitely easier to gamble there for a longer time. Locals casinos are pretty affordable, and if you're in a relatively tourist-heavy community, you might even get a local discount. Sign up for your Players Club card, and you'll get invited back often at a very good price because, well, fact of the matter is, they cater to the locals, they know what the locals' general sensibilities are and how much the cost of living is out that direction, so they have it tuned precisely to how much you have in spending money. Now don't count Vegas out. They'll rope you in with similar deals. Bonus points if your local casino is run by the same company as your Vegas casino of choice. You'll generally get better treatment, and a few of your comps might transfer over if your local's casino is the same company as your Vegas casino. The only difference is your odds are worse, and fact of the matter is you're probably going to pay a lot more to get over there via travel. Point goes to locals. Between a lower betting minimum and the fact that long distance travel costs a lot more, locals just wins out. Here's the funny thing about locals. The casinos are often 24 hours, but nothing else in that area is. Liquor stores, restaurants, bars outside the casinos definitely close at normal times. 10 p.m., 12 a.m., or 2 a.m. if you're really lucky. But if you're looking forward to having French toast at sunset near the pool at your locals casino, don't get too excited because the kitchen is probably already closed. The contrast with Vegas casinos is pretty stark. They say that New York is the city that never sleeps, but Vegas is the non-stop party city. It may slow down around 5 a.m. and may not pick up until about 8 or 9 or so, but if you ever want something at nearly any time, you've got it. Ice cream sundaes at 8 a.m., New York strips at the arcade at noon, and beers 24/7. Vegas hours work for anyone that's used to any shift. Point goes to Vegas, a 24-hour town just can't be beat. Now for the winner. By a count of 4.5 to 3.5, the winner is Las Vegas. There's just more to do, and it's a cooler place to do it all. A Vegas experience is customizable and fits almost any personality. But that's not to disparage your local's casino experience. It's still a good place to get away for a weekend with friends. It'll probably be a little more catered to your taste, but that's only if you're big on the casino experience anyway. And it also won't appeal to the masses of casual fans that visit Vegas every year anyways. Either way, be sure to take on full standard safety precautions, budget responsibly, and have a good time. Okay, sprinters and sharks, that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed today's content and found it informative, I'd appreciate a like, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Special thanks again to Hog and 2 Cent for designing my fresh new face mask. Don't forget to subscribe to their channel in the description box down below. Until next time though, this is Ace of Vegas signing out, wishing you all strong hands, and of course, happy spinning you guys.
Viva Ace of Vegas. Viva Ace of Vegas. Viva Ace of Vegas. Viva